If nothing in space was moving, so not like any rotating galaxies or anything, and a spaceship excels past the speed of light, it's going to start going back in time. But then it's going to be at the point in time when there was that past version of the spaceship still approaching the speed of light. So haven't you just effectively copied matter, which breaks the first law of thermodynamics, I think? Energy can't be created or destroyed. Today I'm going to show you how to do holotropic breath work as well as Wim Hof breathing, and then I'm going to tell you how it works. So basically for both Wim Hof and holotropic breathing, what you want to do is just circular breathing for whatever interval of time. So you can like go into the chest like, and if you're just starting out, that honestly might be the best thing because that's how most people breathe, I find. But like over time, you want to go belly, then chest, and you get like a full lung expansion that way. So it's like, you can see. And then there's like, right there I think I might have been doing pauses at the top and the bottom of the breath. But for circular breathing, you want to go to where there's really never a point where you're neither exhaling or inhaling. In like normal breath, there's like a plateau at the top of each breath. But for Wim Hof breathing and holotropic breath work, you want to make it so that there's no plateau. And I'm actually outside right now, even though it looks like I'm inside, so it's fucking hot out here. Let's move inside. So for Wim Hof breathing, you just want to do 30, but really you can go 30 to 50 of those deep circular breaths, and then you want to just let it all out and hold. So it's like, and now you're holding. And when you hold, just hold as long as possible on that one. I noticed I didn't go like, and to where I couldn't talk afterward. That's not what you want to do. You want to inhale fully and then let go. And even with the 30 to 50 breaths, you don't actually have to do 30 to 50 breaths. You can kind of just gauge it by this feeling you get in your cheeks and face and brain, which is pretty much exactly identical to a cannabis high. In my experience, it's just like the same thing. But yeah, after you start feeling that and you can feel it in your face, you pretty much, at that point, you know, okay, well, I can do the breath hold now. At least for the first round, because that feeling will persist if you keep doing the breathing. But yeah. But let's talk about what holotropic breath work is. It is literally just hyperventilating in a meditative space of mind, and that is all. It's literally just circular breathing, very rhythmic. Most of the time there's music. It's usually performed by a professional. And yeah, you just hyperventilate. And what that causes is called hypocapnic hypoxia. And what hypocapnic hypoxia causes is full blood alkalosis in your body. So when you breathe heavy in and out, it copies what's happening when you're doing heavy exercise. And you are actually exercising your lungs when it happens. So the high cannabinoid kind of feeling is from endocannabinoids that get released like as the runner's high type of thing. So this type of breathing, because it's like connected to your automatic nervous system, like if you're running, your body's automatically going to be hyperventilating. So when you hyperventilate, you can kind of trick your body into thinking that that same response is happening and you get that nice runner's high. But also, your body is not lacking oxygen at all. So if you're hyperventilating and you're getting that runner's high, but you don't actually need any oxygen, then your body's not going to absorb as much oxygen. You kind of trick your lungs into not absorbing as much. But your body will, like, there's still blood flowing to your lungs, of course. Your body's going to keep filtering out the CO2. And what happens is without CO2, your blood doesn't have very much carbonic acid, which is what lowers the pH. So the pH raises, and that's called alkalosis. That can have various effects, and yeah, it's complicated. So with alkalosis, low CO2 causes some blood vessels in your brain to constrict, and that causes the release of adrenaline and norepinephrine. It also activates the parasympathetic, or it activates the sympathetic nervous system because of like this fight or flight response with the adrenaline and norepinephrine, and then afterward you get this relaxed, content sensation from parasympathetic rebound. Practice this regularly, your body responds by producing more EPO or erythropoietin, I believe that's how it's pronounced, and that causes you to be more efficient at carrying oxygen through your body. I'm sure there's people that could inform you better than that, but that's the basics of how it works. It tricks your mind in a way that reduces your pain response, reduces inflammation response. People that do this method of breathing and then get in an ice bath, like some people still have symptoms, but reduce the reaction to the toxin found in E. coli. So pretty bad toxin. It's not going to kill you when it's just the toxin and not an actual Where should you do holotropic breathwork or Wim Hof breathing, whichever one you want to do? Honestly, at this point, I think they're all the breathing techniques kind of offer the same experience. I think you're kind of doing the same thing. And anything outside of that, you're using meditation to change the experience of the endo high, like the endocannabinoid high. I realized that after making so many videos about how this method is different than that method is different than this method, and that's because I've tried a lot of psychedelics at this point, and I smoke pot, and yeah, basically all breathing techniques feel almost identical to marijuana, but they have far better health benefits because this stuff is actually bad for your heart. It increases your risk of heart events. It's just bad for your heart. You can look it up. There's lots of studies on it. It's not good for your heart. Neither is nicotine. Where should you do it? You shouldn't do it driving because it can make you pass out. But you should do it at work. Sometimes you work a shitty job like Amazon or stuff like, if I pass out, they can deal with it. I'm not going to die if I pass out. It's a natural thing. And it gives me a much better day if I'm doing Wim Hof breathing or holotropic breath work at my station. I have a much better day and much less pissed off at my glitchy computers like that. So I recommend you do holotropic breath work while you're at work, unless you're like a barista or like, work at a restaurant, because that would be alarming. Oh no, my heart. Okay, so we're going to be doing some breath work together. Ready? 3, 2, and well, before we go, you can go in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the mouth, out through the nose, whatever. Nose breathing is healthier. It's good for your IQ. It's good for your brain. You should get used to that in general. Do this however you want. This is a different thing. This is not like normal breathing. I don't know if I clarified that, but yeah, Wim Hof breathing, the 30 to 50 deep breaths, exhale, hold as long as possible, inhale, and hold for 15. So if you didn't watch to the end, I guess screw you.